This recipe is in our third cookbook. It's called Tammy's Tomato Pie under Vegetable section. Now, this is super delicious. So this summer, instead of having a BLT, make sure you make my bacon tomato pie. You'll be so glad you did, and everybody's going to love it. Let's get started. All right, I'm going to use this 9-inch springform pan today instead of an 8-inch cake pan, because when I use the 8-inch, it has such a thick crust. I think this will work better. You can note that in your recipe book on page 151. That's the volume 3 cookbook. And you're going to use a can of Grand's biscuits. And this is the first thing I'm going to do is start this to cook, because this has to bake for 15 minutes. So just open up your biscuits. Now you can roll these out with a rolling pin. I did that before, but it's not easy. So I'm just going to do it this way today and see how it works. Pretty good. Works pretty good. So what I'll do is I'll just make it work. And so once you get the bottom covered, that's 9 inches, we're just going to press it around the side just a little bit, a third of the biscuit, I guess you'd say. And then we're going to flatten out the other part. And then when this bakes, it'll rise a little bit. So I'm just going to pinch it together in the middle, just kind of pinch it together so that the whole bottom will have a crust. That's pretty close to being good enough. You can try to pinch the sides together on the sides if you want to. You just want a little bit of a rim to put your tomatoes in here and make the pie. I think this is working really good. All right. Now, we're going to get this in the oven at 350 degrees, and we're going to bake it for 15 minutes. When the oven's preheated. All right, in the recipe, I tell you guys to make 3 slices of bacon in the microwave. And if you don't want to use the microwave, of course, you can use a skillet. Today, I think I'm going to use the skillet, and I'm going to put my onions and peppers in there with the bacon. And I think it will make it taste really good instead of them going into the pie raw. The last time I made them with the onions and peppers raw, and that was absolutely delicious. So you can do it either way you want to. But we're going to get this bacon started and get it in the skillet. All right, I'm going to highlight 3 Rada products today that are wonderful. And you're going to see how I use all 3 of them. I am going to use my tomato slicing knife. It is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to use this to dehull my peppers, my banana peppers, and you'll see me do that. And then we're going to be using this to slice our other veggies. And these are very affordable and wonderful products made right here in the United States. Y'all, do me a favor and go over there to their website through our link and purchase something. You'll be glad you did. It's very likely that Mama had some Rada knives in her kitchen. Now, Mother's Day's over, but Father's Day's coming up. So if your father likes to cook, he'll like them too. I'm going to let that get hot. And I'm going to slice up a couple of peppers and onions while that's getting hot. All right, here's a pepper. I chose green just because I thought it would be prettier in the pie, since the tomatoes are red already. We are getting some bell pepper out of the garden right now, and some banana pepper. So if you want to put a little banana pepper in there, of course you can do that too. I think I'll grab some. I think they'll be good in it. If you've never used one of these to get the middle out of a pepper, they work really well. And my knives and peelers are on the website. They're Rada, a brand you very likely grew up with in the kitchen. Now, don't you think that sounds good? Bacon, tomatoes from the garden, and these are garden tomatoes. We are already getting some tomatoes. It's so nice. Add our bacon. Since we're making a 9-inch pie today, I might go ahead and fry 4 or 5. I can always use bacon, even if I don't need it in the pie. And once this bacon gets started good, we'll throw our vegetables in there. All right, this is a all-clad skillet, and there's a link to it from our website. If you go to Shop Kitchen and then go to Cookware, you'll find this skillet. You'll also find this hook that I'm using, and it is a right-handed hook on our bestseller page. For top sellers, I'm not sure exactly what I call it, something like that. And it's called a Jacquard, Jaccard. And oh my gosh, it works wonderful. I just cleaned my stovetop and now I'm getting bacon all over it. That's part of it. If you want to keep your bacon from curling, you can cut it with the scissors. It's easier to do it with scissors than to do it with a knife, especially if you're using a nonstick pan. You don't want to scratch the pan up. But sometimes it pays just to cut the little ends a little bit so that they lay down a little flatter. And if you use this hook, make sure you don't use the sharp point to move stuff around. All right, this is ready. I'm going to take it out. That is looking really good, y'all. Looking really good. Those are going to be good on our tomato pie. Some of them's being stubborn. There's our bacon. Whew, now we got all this good stuff ready. We'll put our pie together. It should be coming out of the oven in just a second. All right, so it's a half cup of mayonnaise. You're also going to need salt and pepper. So make sure you have that handy. As you know, tomatoes are good with salt and pepper. Mostly pepper though, because this mayonnaise is salty. There's a half cup of mayonnaise. All right, and here's our crust. Ready. I'm going to set it over here on the stove for a second while we mix this up. So now we're going to add in a cup of this cheese. And we'll use the rest of it on the top of the pie. Cup of cheese goes in with that mayonnaise. And you just mix it up. All right. It's going to be good. Now get your favorite Italian seasoning. Mine is Pizza Palooza. And I can show you a link to that too in the description post to use on your pie. All right, let's go ahead and slice our tomatoes and get them ready. While we're waiting for that to cool off just a little bit, you want to be able to touch your pie and take out a little bit of that biscuit. So we're going to let it cool a second while we slice our tomatoes. These tomatoes are from the garden, and this is a tomato pie. So it's up to you how thick you want to slice them or how many layers of tomato you want to put on it. I like to use the ends. It smells like a BLT in here. That might be enough, y'all. I'm not going to slice this one until I absolutely have to, so we'll see how we're doing. Now, it says to dig out the middle to put your tomatoes down in. So you are going to just ooh, it's hot. These are flaky layers, and so you can kind of peel them back a little easier than you think. And if you need to patch some of it, you can patch some of it. As it's cooling down, it's kind of shrinking. Get it kind of even. That looks good. You're going to put your tomatoes in first and sprinkle them with black pepper. All right, sprinkle them with black pepper good. Now it says to put in the onion and peppers. And the bacon. We're going to use it all. This pie's getting a little extra bacon. Okay. I've got to wash my hands, y'all. That bacon's greasy. All right, and now the cheese goes on top. And mayonnaise. Now this is going to bake in the oven for a while. It's going to bake 40 minutes. So this cheese is going to be really toasty when it comes out. And after it bakes for a while, we might add just a little bit of cheese on the top. We'll wait and see how it looks. All right, y'all, the last time I made this, I cut it with a pizza cutter. And boy, was it good. So this is definitely a must-try summertime pie with tomatoes and bacon. Instead of making a BLT one day, make you a tomato pie. We're going to get this in the oven. It's going to bake at 350 degrees for 40 minutes. Now, if you have a smaller oven or your oven's a little hotter, make sure you turn the temperature down a little bit because 40 minutes is a long time, all right? And you don't want it to get too brown. But it does get toasty. So we will see you in 40 minutes and get a bite of this delicious tomato bacon pie. We're going to sprinkle the pie with some Italian seasoning right quick. I completely forgot to do that. It does help the flavor of it, as if it's not good already, right? Really, it's more like a pizza than a pie. It really is. It's more like a pizza. So I'm going to bring y'all up close and let you see it, and we're going to take this out from around it. The great thing about using the spring form is it's really easy to get out of the pan to slice. I wish I had thought of that before I made my recipe book. And there's the pie. Very pretty. And really, where the biscuits are, it's where you need to cut it. Oh no, I don't think I have it cut good enough. Let me cut it better. Got to go through that biscuit crust. Okay. You see the tomato and the cheese and the bacon? Don't that look delicious, y'all? Got to get through that biscuit crust. Oh, that looks so good, y'all. The crust is nice and brown. Cheesy and delicious. Well, now then. Mmm. That is so good, and I'm so hungry today. This is definitely one you're going to have to make for your friends. Mmm, mmm, mmm. I'm talking about delicious. And then once you eat that tip off the end, because it was just that single biscuit, this is just one of the biscuits. And you can pick it up, and you can see it's nice and brown on the bottom. Mmm, mmm, mmm. That's something to write home about. If you've never had my tomato pie, I suggest you give it a try. And if you don't want to use canned biscuits, make you some biscuit dough. But you do have to hold out that middle because you don't want your crust to be too thick. You want it to be thin and crunchy instead of it being like thick like a biscuit, okay? So make sure you do that step. I hope y'all have enjoyed watching me make this tomato pie. I'm sure going to enjoy eating it. I appreciate y'all watching the channel and buying our cookbooks and going through the links and buying things. It's such a blessing to us. We just want to thank you from the bottom of our heart for being so good to us. And I hope that you think we're good to you. We will see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks. Cooking like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. We love ya.